to record me, you just record my medication. Okay, so the stimulation drugs, so we said on Merional, Fostimon, Zomacton, and your tablet's called dexamethasone, and later we'll give you an injection called Cetrutac. So the stimulation injections, like we said, need to be taken after 7 p.m. And the medication that you will be taking is called Fostimon. They come in little boxes like these, and also Merional that comes in little boxes like these. So when you have a look at the box, it tells you the name of the medication, and also it tells you next to it 75 units. And what this means, it stands for the strength of the medication itself. So you can start with whichever medication you like. You select time, so like we said, after 7, so if you pick 7 or 8, whatever time you pick, let's say it's that time now, so it's 7 p.m, we are ready. So we take your meds out, we clean your hands, have clean surface naturally. So let's start with your Fostimon, for example. Now the dose of Fostimon to start with for you, it's 150 units, which means that we have to open 2 boxes. So 75 times 2 is 150. So in each box, when you open it, you will have water, which is just a diluent, sterile water, and you will have powder. Now these are obviously just for testing. It will tell you the name on it. These are only because we've used them, there's no powder in there, but I'll show you one. So it will, your vial will look like this. So again, the name, Fostimon, 75 units, and there will be expiry date on it, okay? So make sure you have that in date. So you take your 2 powders, 1 water, okay? And then we need to basically mix it together. We need to dissolve the powder.
So I don't need the water in the other one?
Yeah, no.
No.
So only one water, one fluid.
Right.
And also on the sheet, it tells you here, so if you need to use 150 units of strength of the medication, it's 1 liquid, 2 powders. Okay. So then you take your syringe and you take 2 needles, 1 long, 1 short. The colors may vary, but it's always the same principle, 1 long, 1 short. The long needle is used only for mixing the medication. The short needle is for injecting. Okay, so then we are ready to do it. So we open, so the vials of the powder will have like a cover, like a green or blue cover on it. It says flip off, so you literally take it off. Similar to what you did with your buserelin. And the water you need to break. So it can come in slightly different versions, but majority is the same. So first thing, when you pick it up, sometimes you might have liquid on the top, which you have to make sure you drop down, okay? So to do it is either you can tap the top of it, top of the vial, so the liquid drops down, or you can turn it like that so until it drops down. So you have the full amount of liquid. If you made a mistake, you've got extra to play with anyway. So you discard it, put it in your sharp bin, use a new one. Now to open it, there is a red dot. Red dot means it's the easiest to break at that spot. If there is no red dot, that means it's breakable all around.
Right.
Okay. So also in your delivery pack, you might have received these little plastic bits. They are just to protect your fingers and help you to break the vial. So when you have a look at it, it's hollow on one side and it's got teeth on the other side. So the little teeth down, you pop it over, you literally pop it over the glass vial, and then you break it. So what we do, we put a thumb on the red dot, hold it close to yourself and snap it. So snap away, okay? So thumb, snap, okay?
Yeah.
And then you put this in your sharp bin. You can tip it as well, so if the glass comes out, you can reuse the plastic bit as well if you are running out of those. Then you take your syringe and you attach the big needle. So like we said, big needle is only for mixing. So we are not sitting there for half an hour as the little one trying to mix it. Okay, so big needle. And now we know we have to dissolve the powder. So in order to dissolve it, we need liquid. Common sense. So all we do, we stack the liquid in. So whichever way, you can do it whichever way you are used to. I tend to put the needle to the bottom corner because it's just much easier that way, but it makes no difference whatsoever. You don't worry about any bubbles or air at this stage at all. Just get the liquid in. And then we transfer the liquid to the powder. Now, when you have a look, in the middle of the rubber, there's a little circle there. So all you do, you push the needle through that little circle in, and you squeeze the liquid in. Now with this medication, Fostimon, as soon as you've done that, it dissolves immediately. And then, once it's dissolved, you suck it back up. So needle to the bottom corner, and you get all of it back into your syringe. Okay? So at this stage, we have dissolved 1 powder, 1 water, which would stand for 75 units. Yeah? So if you were doing 75 only, then it's 1 powder, 1 water. With Fostimon, we need 150, meaning that with this solution, we go back to the second powder, again, squeeze the water in, dissolve, suck it back up. And that means we have dissolved now 150 units of the medication. If the dose was 2 to 5, that would then be 3 powders.
3 powders, yeah.
Yeah? So, 150 there. All we need to do, we take the needle off and attach the short needle that we will be injecting with. Open. Now, before injecting, just have a look for bubbles and air. Don't overthink it far too much. If you have a big bubble like me here, flick it. You literally flick, it goes away. If you have the tiny ones, they don't really matter, to be honest. You'd have to inject like 10 syringes full of air only to cause any problem and any havoc in your body. 1 bubble here and there is not going to do anything, but do your best. Okay? Now, before injecting, also get rid of the air. So the way to do it is literally push the air out by pushing the liquid up. You push it up all the way till the end of your syringe. If you want to be a perfectionist, which you don't have to do, you can push it until you get a little bubble, but sometimes you may overdo it. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you shouldn't do. But, you know, in actual fact, it wouldn't matter really because you've got plenty there.
Yeah.
And inject. Now, injections will be in the tummy, below the belly button. So on me, my belly button is somewhere there. So roughly about 3 fingers down to this side. And with my fake belly here, when you are injecting, you can either pinch the skin, then inject. You can go straight in, whichever is comfortable for you. And the way to do it is literally straight in, all the way, and then squeeze the medication in. It will not go terribly quickly because the needle is very fine. So just go with the flow, squeeze it in. Once you've done that, you wait a second or 2. You can count. You can say 1, 2, out. And then put it in your sharps bin.
Yeah.
For each medication, you use new needles, new syringes. Never reuse needles and syringes. Okay?
Can I do it? So, obviously, I've got to do 150 of this one and 75. So I do 1 in that side and 1 in that
And
side?
1 in the other side,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
The next day, if you remember, switch
I switch,
sides
yeah.
and switch again.
Yeah.
But if you don't remember, nothing will happen.
No.
It's to do more with the reaction, basically. So if and the reaction is not known with Fostimon and Merional. As in having a, I don't know, pinky patch around the injection site and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna put these away. Now also when you are selecting your time and when you are starting, it doesn't matter which order you start. It may be different every day. It doesn't matter as long as you are kind of starting at that time.
Yeah.
Plus minus maybe 10-15 minutes either side, not more than that. Okay, so this is quite clear, isn't
Yeah,
it? The
that's
Merional, we said, It'll be
Just
one powder, one
yeah.
water mix.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I'm saying do one and then the other is because the vials look very, very similar. It's just that the name is different and the coloring is slightly, tiny bit different. So I don't want you to do mix and match.
Yeah.
That's definitely no. Okay, so that's that. Now, there will be also medication. So this leaflet talks about your Merional Fostimon, very straightforward.
Yeah.
And you will be doing both 75 and 150. As we said, we will review. You do 3 doses of dose, 3 days of dose basically. Then you come back for a scan and a blood test. And from then on, we'll check your blood and then call you and advise you on the dose. The dose can move up and down. The highest dose is 225 units, which will be 3 powders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you need to do your Zomacton, which is growth hormone.
I do that every day.
Every other day.
Every other day.
After 7 p.m. as well. So
right,
that's
okay.
also in the evening.
Right, okay.
Alternate days.
Okay.
So, that's the one you should have in the fridge as well.
Yes, it's in the fridge.
Perfect. So keep it there. If I just put F here, so you know.
Yeah, that's in the fridge as well, yeah.
Lovely, 5 boxes. Okay, so the way you, did you have a look inside?
Yeah, it was the same, wasn't it? Yeah.
Good. So again, when you open the pack, obviously we've opened it here, but you will see a vial of powder there, like that, and then there will be a big vial of water. So again, the same story. New needle. Obviously I'm just showing you, but new needle, new syringe. You open, so you see it says flip off easily, just take it off. Cover from the powder. The vial of water again open the same way as we said. So this one might not have a dot, so literally just hold it at the bottom, close to yourself, snap away from yourself. Because the medication is used for lots of different purposes, not just fertility, there is more liquid in there. For fertility, from the fertility point of view, we use only part of the liquid. So in the vial, you have 3.5 ml of sodium chloride, which is basically a sterile water. What you need to do is you suck only 1.3 ml of water to dissolve powder. Now, there are lots of different ways, different people do different things. You can either suck more into the syringe and squeeze it exactly, or you suck more, go over to the sink, get rid of it. That's what I tend to do.
Yeah.
Until you get the 1.3.
Yeah.
1.3. Yes? I don't know what you can see from that far away. Probably everything. So it's that. So that way, when you select 1.3, not only you get rid of the air, bubbles, whatever, but so you have the exact amount.
Yeah.
And with that, again, you go through the top, through the middle circle in, you push the liquid, squeeze it in, wait until the powder dissolves. This powder takes time.
Right.
Also, it will bubble, it will foam.
Okay.
So like a little frost you get there. So sometimes it might be advisable, if that happens, don't shake it, because by shaking it you make it worse. And also let it settle a little bit.
Okay.
You will not be able to get rid of all the bubbles. It's pretty not possible. But just do your best. Don't worry far too much. So when it settles a little bit, then you suck it back up. Now, the healthcare at home, sometimes they provide you with longer needles. If you have them, use them, because with the longer needles you can get the liquid from the bottom. If you have short needles like me, obviously we can't reach the bottom. So there is a little trick. What you do, you tip it upside down, and you look for this little gap here in the middle, and you pull the needle into that gap down, and then you suck all the liquid back into the syringe. Because obviously otherwise you can't do it, because if you want to get the liquid and you have the needle up, you are only sucking air in. Yeah? So you get the liquid in, And then exactly the same scenario. So all you do, you take the needle